violated. How you doing, guys? Big Mac Danschool here again today, back once again with another episode of Warhammer Thoughty. And in today's video I'm going to be talking about certain game systems and what attracts you to certain game systems or certain factions, but not others. So, find out what attracts me to game systems after this. So not too long ago, you may remember that Adeptus Titanicus came out and there was a lot of people really excited about it. The idea of playing these massive Titan battles and representing these massive Titan battles on the tabletop always sort of drew my attention, and when I heard they were bringing Titanicus back, I was very excited about it. I was thinking, you know, I could get Titans that are going to face off against each other. My mate can use one of the forces, and I can... Some of the Titan battles that you read about in certain novels, in the Horus Heresy and other novels, even just Titans taking part in wider battles and conflicts that involve Space Marines as well. You can sort of represent that on the tabletop. But the problem is, it's a new game. It's got new rules. It's got different dice. The mechanics are different. The way you move your Titans are slightly different. They've got specific ways you can turn. You can't do everything like as freely as you can in 40k. If I want to move a Space Marine or an Orc, then I can move them any direction they want to move, as long as there's no impassable terrain around them or other units that block the path. And I can just move them how I want, basically, up to their maximum movement distance. Whereas with Titanicus, it's a bit different. It's a bit more complicated. You also have to manage your reactor core to make sure it doesn't overload and stuff like that. So the game, to me, it's like, I've only got a certain amount of room in here for rules, and because I don't game that much, I can't retain the rules as well as other people can. If I was playing it night after night or a few times a week, then the rules would stick a bit better, but I just seem to, between games, it can be a couple of months, so I forget the rules and I have to relearn them each time I play. So for me, Titanicus isn't as appealing now that I've seen all the differences in the rules as when I first heard they were releasing it. I may at some point get some of the Titans and paint them up in a certain Legion's colour, and then I can have a game now and again maybe. But for myself, the game it lost its appeal when I saw how different it was from regular 40k. But onto the point of this video, and the point of this video is what attracts you to a certain game or a certain faction within a game. So for me, I like variety as well. So one of the things about Titanicus is, when they first launched the game, there was only actually 2 units you could buy. So you got them in the starter set. It was the Warlord Titans and 3 of the Knight Titans. And you got those in the starter set, and that was all they had in the game. And it completely lost my attention then, when they initially launched the game, because there was no variety of units. And one of the things that really draws me to an army or a game or something is a variety of units, a variety of colour schemes, a variety, just any kind of variety. When I first got into the hobby when I was about 12 years old, I was drawn to the Eldar because the Eldar had aspect warriors, and they still do to this day have aspect warriors. They learn the art of a certain aspect of war. So striking scorpions operate in the shadows, coming out to pounce on the enemy, whereas fire dragons are all about targeting strong units and using flame to burn and destroy the enemy. Dark Reapers are sort of death from afar kind of thing. They use their missile launchers to take out the enemy from afar. And they all embody a different aspect of war, basically. And not only that, but they're painted in different ways as well. So when I was reading through White Dwarf when I was younger, I was like, oh my god, look at these guys. These guys are blue, Dire Avengers. These guys are green, Striking Scorpions. These guys are a lighter shade of blue, Swooping Hawks. And I was just like, wow, there's so much variety out there. It's fantastic. I don't get why you'd want to have a Space Marine army when everyone's painted red, because the Blood Angels were very big at the time during 2nd edition. And or blue Ultramarines or yellow Imperial Fists. Now I can understand the appeal of that, but when I was first getting into the game, I just loved the variety. And to a certain extent, I think that's what's drawn me to Orcs as well, because the way I see Orcs go into war in a big war is all the clans, it doesn't matter what clan you are, you can be drawn into any war. So Death Skulls fight alongside Evil Suns, fight alongside Bad Moons, fight alongside Blood Axes. They all fight as a big force. It's not just a big, massive band of millions of Death Skulls fighting. It's a big mixture of units. So if I want to paint some of my orcs as Death Skulls, some as Bad Moons, some as Blood Axes, then I can do, and I can get away with that. Some people really like the structured military style of Space Marines, of Imperial Guard, where you've got a single chapter of Space Marines represented, and that's what draws them into that particular faction. But for me, it's never been like that. I can understand it now, and I understand the appeal of it when I started reading the Horus Heresy books. I was reading about these massive legions, and I just thought, my God, what would it be like to have a legion of Space Marines? Just a legion of Lunar Wolves, or Sons of Horus as they became, and just like have thousands upon thousands of Space Marines. It just looks so impressive. I think part of the reason I'm sort of switched on that idea now is because I've been to places like Warhammer World where they've got these massive displays, and it shows you how impressive a collection of unified miniatures can look on that scale. They've got the massive Ultramarine display. Well, it's not an Ultramarine display. I can't think of what the display is called, but it's the one where you're walking around and you're going down the stairs as you're looking at it. And the table is huge, and it's got loads of different sort of miniature battles going on in this wider battle where Chaos, I think it's mainly Khorne, but like I think it's Wordbearers versus Ultramarines. And there's so much going on for you to take in, but it's a unified force of Ultramarines against this unified Chaos force, and they're all just getting it on. There are some other units in there as well, like Titans and stuff, mixed in there just to add a bit of flavour. But the overall feel is Ultramarines versus Chaos, and I think it's Wordbearers, but I could be wrong there. It's a while since I've been. I need to go again soon. But I understand the appeal of that now, where I never did in the past. As a child, I was all about variety. I wanted to try this cake, I wanted to try that sandwich, I wanted to have that Ribena, and then I wanted to have that Iron Brew. And it was all about variety when I was younger. But now I do understand the appeal of a unified force of complementary forces, of things like that, where I didn't before. Let me know what draws you to a certain faction or a certain game in the comments below. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.